It's good. I was just saying, you should say thank you, Baba. Thank you for making me all this
Thank you.
occasion, this happy occasion. You know.
Only Baba can bring this much love.
Just remember one thing: old is better than gold. You can take that to the bank. Just don't cash it.
Are you calling me old, or is that just
Old is a part of gold.
all right? Meher Chan, do you think you can sing me a song? Ah,
So
Baba,
just,
of course.
I'll just only 4 lines which Bauji has written. That is also in both. It's the typical traditional
Yes.
Gandhi's favorite song, and it was translated by. And I sang on the Amartiti thread along with Ted and one also Persian person. I didn't remember his name. Song goes like this. Raghupati Raghava Raja Ram Patita Pavana Sitaram Sitaram Jaya Sitaram Bhajo Man Pyare Sitaram. You are me here, my true friend. I am always in your hand. What fire is your name, which burns self and gives self fame? ईश्वर अल्लाह तेरो नाम सबको सन्नति दे भगवान रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम. You are unique, you are Lord, you are Father, Son, and God. Everything is in your hand. You are Meher, my true friend. Raghupati Raghava, Raja Ram, Patita Pavana, Sitaram. That's still further strangers. I just, Tar Meher Baba ki jai.
Thank you.
Very well done, Merchan.
Very sweet.
Beautiful song.
All right.
Yeah. Anybody?
Jeff, all yours.
Jeff should have a story, I'm sure.
Oh, you know, I'm having to use my phone tonight, and it's everybody's very small. I mean, it's.
That's true.
I'll tell you a story. I don't know if I've told it before. Uh-oh. Now. Okay. Back at, one of Baba's Mandali, his name was Sarosh. Some of you may have met him, but he was, I think he was around 18 when he came to Baba. He was the cousin of Adi Kairani, and he grew up in Ahmednagar. And when Baba gathered the first early Mandali, they were, many of them were young, and they went on foot to Bombay. And Baba started his first little ashram there, which was called Manzili Mim. And everybody was supposed to sign up for 1 year, and they were all men. And it was very strict life, and one of Baba's first kind of, like to say, first ashrams. And so after 9 months, Baba disbanded it, and each one came in for an interview. And the reason I'm telling this is that I was young. He told a story in New York in, I think, about 1970 when I was there, and it made a deep impression on the humanness of Baba. So anyway, at the end of 9 months, each one of them would have this interview with Baba. And when Sarosh came, And if someone, Baba would let them do whatever they want. Some of them wanted to finish their schooling. Some of them wanted to stay with Baba and just, continue with him. Some, like Sarosh, was engaged to be married to Vilu. And so he came in and said that that's what happened. So Sarosh went, newly married, he went up to Nasik, and I think he had the franchise for Chevrolet automobiles. Anyway, the early married life and getting a house and all of that. A couple years went by, and he hadn't seen Baba, and he came to wherever Baba was. I can't remember, but Baba was in some bungalow, and the men were there, and Baba was in a very good mood, and he was joking with the all the men and everything, but he kept overlooking Sarosh. He would respond to this one, and then he would respond to that one, and he would just keep skipping over Sarosh. And this went on for hours, and finally Sarosh came forward with tears in his eyes and said, Baba, I haven't seen you in 2 years, and here you keep ignoring me. You haven't even acknowledged me. And Baba said, now you know how I felt all these years that you haven't come to see me. And then Baba said, look in your heart. And Sarosh looked in his heart. He saw Baba in his heart, and he passed out, and they had to carry him out of the room. So that made a deep impression to Baba, the humanness of Baba. Because, when they were shooting the films of Baba in the 30s behind Kitty Davies' home, they had Baba in a sadra sitting there. But afterwards, Baba said, I was cold. It was winter. I was cold, but I had to act like everything was all right, because you people have projected onto me that I'm somehow beyond all of this. So that's the one thing that made a deep impression on me, the human side of Baba that I experienced there from Sarosh back in my early days with Baba. Hello?
Thank you, Jeff.
Was that audible?
Yeah, we heard it clearly. Yeah.
Very good.
But this telephone doesn't, it's so quiet. I'm having a hard time hearing anybody.
No, you're good. I mean, we heard you very clearly.
Yeah, you
Oh,
were very,
good.
very clear.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I think everybody was moved by your story.
Yeah.
And we didn't want you to stop.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you one other little episode.
Jeff, it's Meherchan. Your voice is like an inner voice which gives, but your telephone might be bad.
Yeah, well, I can't. This telephone is so weird. I'll tell you one other thing that's connected with that. You probably all have heard of Lynn Ott.
Yeah.
And Lynn Ott told me this. He went to see Baba in 1965. And he had a very inspired intellect, and he'd read God Speaks, and he was very versed in Baba's writings. And so anyway, he's went to see Baba in 1966, and he's on the approach road to Merzad, which is about like maybe an eighth of a mile. And he's being driven in his car. Suddenly he gets panic-stricken because, in just a few moments, he's going to meet God himself. And he got like terrified. He wanted just to fling the door open and run off into one of the nearby fields. But he just somehow controlled that impulse. And eventually he was brought in to Mandalay Hall. And as he went in, he saw Baba sitting in the chair. And his impression was this little man sitting in a chair. And the first thing that Baba said to him was, through Erich, is, I am more human than you are. So that's another beautiful thing. That aspect of Baba sometimes gets a little bit lost. Okay.
All right.
That was beautiful, Jeff. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Baba, Jeff. Thank you.
Jeff, where's your computer?
I was always more attracted to the human side of Baba.
You hear me, Jeff?
Yeah. But I have to kind of get up close. Yeah.
Yeah. Where's your computer?
You know what? I brought my computer cord in, and somehow one piece of it was missing, and so I wasn't able to charge my computer.
Ah.
Yeah.
Hey,
Real
Jeff. Jeff.
Yes.
Hey, Baba. Hi. You had told us one other story once when we were in Myrtle Beach at Baba's Center, at Meher Center. I don't exactly remember all the details of that story, but I'll tell you what you had said in that story. There were these two families, and the girl from the one family and the boy from the other family, they wanted to get married, but their families were against it. They did not support that. So, and the girl got pregnant, you had said, and then
Oh.
Baba helped them. Baba,
Oh,
so
I'll tell you that. It's a little bit different from what you're saying.
yeah, I don't exactly remember, but this was the kind of the gist of it, from what I remember.
This is a story that Erich would relate. Now just think of this. This is really something. There were two in Dehradun, I think it was Dehradun in northern India, there were two extended families that were very devoted to Baba, long-time followers of Baba. And there were two young couples as a part of the family. And what happened is one of the husbands in one of the couples got involved with the wife of the other couple, and she got pregnant. And what they did, they found a way to come all the way down without their families knowing it. They came all the way down to Merazad and fell at Baba's feet, and and confessed everything to Baba. And this is what Baba did. He told the man, I want you to go back home and don't say ever a word about this to your family. And then what Baba did is he wrote the other family, the husband and the extended family, and said, I want to keep her with me to be with the women Mandali. And so she stayed for 9 months. I don't think just, may have even stayed at Merazad for 9 months. And she had the child. I think the child was given to be raised by one of Baba's Mandali. I think it was Meherji. And she went back up, and the family never knew that this had happened. So Baba intervened and saved, and that's a major thing in an Indian family. This could have really disrupted not just the two couples, but the two extended families. And Baba did that. He saved them in the lowest hour of their life.
So Baba took care of them.
He took care of, just imagine, what Baba did, just to keep the harmony of those two families who were devoted to him. You might say, well, that wasn't quite honest, but love is greater than honesty.
I mean, that's a beautiful
Greater
quote.
than worldly honesty. Yeah.
That's a beautiful quote, Jeff. Did Baba, is that one of Baba's quotes? Love is greater than honesty?
No, that was just what I said.
Okay. No, that's beautiful. I mean, that's why
Well,
I just...
there's a spiritual honesty and there's worldly honesty. They're quite different.
Thank you for retelling that story. Yeah, because sometimes I try to share it with Harsha and Sandeep, but I don't remember the exact story like you just told us. So I tell them in bits and pieces. And I tell them that Jeff had told us the story one summer when we were at the center.
So, Jeff, one tough question. When is Meher Center opening?
What's that?
When is Meher Center opening?
Oh my God! I keep encouraging. I'm looking for converts because I would like to open it in a phased-in way. You know, first let people walk around on the center, and then eventually open the cabins. But you would have to bring your pots and pans and paper plates and paper cups and your own bedding. That would be the way. That would be a preliminary way, because otherwise, if people were and close all the cabinet, you know, tape up all the cabinet doors, so that, because it would be impossible for the cabin crew to go in and sanitize everything each time.
The refectory will be closed?
What's that?
The refectory, would it be open or closed?
Well, I mean, this is just my.
Yeah. No, I'm just wondering.
You could have the refectory or the original Lakeview kitchen open, and people would eat in shifts. But even they would have to bring their pots and pans and paper plates and everything. But it could be done.
No,
So, yeah.
Our annual trip to Myrtle Beach is, we're waiting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna keep giving my point of view.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Because see, I'm here, you know, I get acclimated to this atmosphere, but I know when I was in upstate New York and I came here, as soon as I hit the center property, boy, the power of Baba's presence was so strong. I would come down with a buddy of mine. We would come down drive down all night, stay for 2 days, and turn around and go back up again.
Wow.
I mean, it was like crazy. I could never, it was a 16-hour drive, but the power of Baba's love and presence here was well worth this crazy trip. You know, I'd have a headache the first day from being up all night, and then the next day it would be like heaven. Yeah. And I would get such valuable insights into how to live for Baba. I would get it from Baba and from Kitty and Elizabeth. You know, there were just invaluable things that made it well worth. We used to come down once a month. Can you imagine? But there is so much here, and I tell them, we can't just sit on this treasure house forever. I mean, people need to come here and, you know, be in this atmosphere. It's very healing and very integrating, especially today. Yeah.
You know, Jeff,
11 o'clock.
my first time going there, I really didn't know what to expect, but I always thought whenever when I left there, I really was like, why can't I? Well, this was like 3 years ago, but I was like, why can't I feel the same way in my everyday life, the way I felt when every day I would wake up at the center. I think I was there for like a week, but it was just filled with insight and I don't know. Yeah, it just was. I mean, you told me something. You kind of looked over at me 'cause it was like, I think it was the last day. And you're like, it's a different place out there. And I was like, what? And you're like, yeah, you know, you kind of come here and you rejuvenate, and then you leave, and over the days, it starts to, the world starts to wear on you. And I was like, yeah, I guess. And then you're like, you'll see, but you'll come back, and then you'll be rejuvenated, and then eventually you don't even need to come here anymore because the center will be in you. And I was like, I have no idea what this guy's talking about, but it was so true because yeah, it's like I think with everything being shut down, it's almost like I have to create. I have to kind of go to the center, or find that center in myself with Baba every
Yeah.
every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, here you get the benefit, you get outside support. I mean, Baba is equally everywhere, but the veil of illusion is thicker in some places and more transparent in others. So, here Baba is right next to you, but you go across the street at the mall and you wonder what happened to Baba. I mean, the veil is so thick, even though he's equally over there in the mall, but you have to work at finding him, maintaining him being right with you but here it's just given to you, handed to you. Baba gave a figure about, like Mehrabad and Meherzad and here the Mayor Center. He said this is the figure that Baba gave. You may have heard of it, but when someone commits a crime, what they do at the crime scene, they bring in the dogs and they give them a scent. They pick up a scent, and then they take off trying to find the fugitive. And so they take off, the dogs do. And what happens sometimes when they get so far away, they lose the scent and everything. So they have to be brought back to the scene of the crime. So that's the figure Baba gave. You come back, you get Baba's presence, you get the feel of Baba's presence, and then you go out there, and over time you kind of lose that immediacy that you may have experienced, and so you have to come back and get it again. I mean, until one day you have it wherever you are.
Yeah.
But it would be hard for anybody, even the Mandali would come here and get blown away, so to speak.
Wow.
People that had Baba so strongly, they would come to the center and feel Baba, so powerfully, more than in their regular life. So there's something really here, or at Mehrabad and Meherzad.
Wow.
Avatar's abode.
Avatar's abode is beautiful.
Yeah. But people's houses, when I go to people's houses, I can feel you get kind of acclimated to your own house, and you may not know how much of Baba's presence is imbued in your house, and yet someone else coming in can definitely feel that you've gotten used to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeff, in that story you just narrated, Baba said, I am the criminal and you are the hounds. And you have to keep coming back, and take a sniff and renew that scent so that you can remember me. That's the reason why Baba mentioned that time and again, if you come here, it will help.
The universal thief. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. Just 3 or 4 days ago, I was transcribing one of the audios, and this story is one of them.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish. Yeah.
Hey,
Alan,
Jeff.
what you got up your sleeve?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
I well, I got distracted here a little bit because Angela said maybe you can try turning up your phone volume so that you can hear us better.
I know. I've got it. I've got it to the max. That's the thing.
To the
Do you have
max.
headphones? Maybe if
Huh?
you have headphones. Maybe if you tried using headphones.
Yeah. Well, like I say, I'm at the center, so I haven't got all the paraphernalia
Oh,
I
right.
need. Yeah. Wait, let me see. Oh, wait, let me see.
You know, when we went up to, we were up
Dang.
at Paramount a couple Christmases ago, maybe 4 or 5 Christmases ago. We just had such a day that was so magical walking through those woods and just, that place is such a treasure up on Sulphur Mountain. We felt, I mean, I was blown away by Baba's presence there. I was just, I mean,
Yeah.
it was everywhere. And it's just magic. So I'm riding
Yeah.
by the lake on Sunday, and I decide that I want to ride. I decide to go through the parking lots that are right by the lake, just to avoid, there's not really that much congestion. It's very strange. The lake front is so empty. And I'm riding along, and there's a couple walking, and there's a walking towards me, and he's kind of short. He had long hair and a mustache, and he looked like Meher Baba. I was like, I wanted to turn around and stare, but I didn't want to go like, oh, yay, you look like. I thought it was really sweet. It was like, I went on my bike ride and I saw Meher Baba. I know I didn't, but it was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
there are
know,
quite a few people that look like Baba that I've seen. Actually, Prakash's maternal uncle, one of them, he looks exactly like Baba.
Wow.
You look
yeah.
Alan here. You see Alan?
Lenita. Hi, Lenita.
Hi, Michelle. Hi, Sally. Hey, I didn't recognize you.
Hi, Lenita. Yeah.
So Sally's talking about people looking like Baba. Look, Alan. You see Alan, the guy who is here? He looked like Baba when Baba was young.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Look at him.
Yeah, Alan.
Get your hair up and put that coat on.
Got the bushy hair and the beard and the mustache.
Almost.
Yeah.
We've been through that before. He's brought some pictures and very similar.
Yeah, you know, I'm when we're talking about I guess like the undercurrent of not being able to do everything we want to do nowadays or go to the center or just having all this kind of the underbelly being shown of all the things that are happening right now. I remember that story about what's his name? Esfandiar, where he was having a really hard time with Baba, and he was I think he was was he part of the Prem Ashram? Is that what he was?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was just having a really, really mentally challenging time there, like where he just felt so bad that he was almost at the edge of just like being suicidal and just really, really just getting crushed. And he was seeing parts of himself that he was just so disgusted and shamed. I think that was the word he used. He was really, really ashamed of, and he just felt like he couldn't tell anybody, and he didn't even know it about himself until he was there. And so he's having all this come up, and he's feeling terror and overwhelmed, and all of a sudden, Baba wants to talk to him. And so Baba asks to talk to him, and he brings him to a room, and he, he just kind of starts out easy, going like, "How are you doing? How everything? Everything's fine, Baba. Everything's fine. You're sleeping well? Yeah, yeah, I'm okay. Oh, just okay." And then it kind of got into what do you what's troubling you? And he was like, "Oh, nothing's troubling me." And this went on for about 30 minutes. And apparently, when Esfandiar looked back, he was like, Baba never spent that much time trying to get through to somebody. He was just very like fire. Like if you weren't going to speak to him, he would either say something or it would just be very quick. So, but Baba sat with him for 30 minutes saying, "Tell me, what's on your mind? What are you thinking? What are you thinking?" And he was like, "Nothing, Baba, nothing." And he was just like, was so intensely like, felt this pressure, like he just couldn't tell Baba because he was so ashamed. So he has the God man sitting in front of him, looking like a young man, a young Baba that looks similar to this, with the mustache and everything like me right now, sitting in front of him, knowing everything about him, and he just can't get the words out. So finally, after 30 minutes, Baba does become like fire, and he blows up at him, and he basically just tells him every single detail, every single minute detail of all the horrible things that he was thinking and he was feeling and he ever thought, and he ever experienced, and he ever kept secret. He just blew it up at him, and then he left the room. And Esfandiar felt like, okay, that's it. I have to leave. I have to leave here because this is, I can't live with I can't be here. That's it. And so then, but then I guess there was some sort of program, and he was still really upset. And I forgot who it was, but I think he went to the program, and he decided he was just so upset that he was just going to sit like a stone, and he didn't care who he was blocking. And he sat in front of Baidul. But he sat in front of Baidul, and he just decided he wasn't going to budge, and he was just going to sit there and block the view of Baidul's view of Baba. And Baidul said, "Hey man, can you move over? You're blocking me." And he wouldn't budge. And he said, "Hey, come on, move. I want to see Baba. Come on, hey." And he just wouldn't budge. So finally he was like, "That's it. I'm telling Baba." So Baidul goes down and he tells Baba, Esfandiar's not listening. Something's going on with him. And so there's this whole assembly of people, and Baba, Esfandiar sees Baidul go down, and Baba looks up and says, come here. And so in front of everybody, I think Baba, looks at him and he says, do you want to leave? You want to leave here? And he basically goes, yes, Baba, I want to leave. And then he says, okay, well, if you want to leave, go ahead, take a step and leave. And he finds himself in front of everybody. Everybody's staring at him, and it's all the pressure. And he finds that he can't move. He can't budge. And he's like, just take a step and you can go. The door is right there. And he ends up just crumpling and falls to Baba's feet. And just, he's like weeping, and that was it. He just was, he felt like Baba took it all and it was forgiven. He said it's okay, and he picks him up and he hugs him and he says, just go sit down. And it was just basically, but all that, it just took all that to take away sort of this deep-seated, rooted thing that he felt like he just couldn't share with anybody. But Baba was his best friend and his everything, but it had to come out that way, totally embarrassed in front of his peers. So I don't know, something about that, this time frame being locked
Yeah.
down, reminds me of facing those things and being honest with Baba in myself, and it doesn't he just forgives it. That's the part that I can't fathom, and it's really hard for me to get over again and again, that he knows that he is that stuff, but he loves me beyond that, more than I could love myself. So yeah. Anyways, Jai Baba.
Beautiful. No, it's yeah, it's hard to imagine. We project how people have responded to us our whole life onto Baba, where he's entirely different. In fact, I mean, the fact that he created us, if he has a problem with us, that's his problem. I mean, really, but we take it as our problem.
Yeah.
It's, yeah, hard to be completely open with Baba. Even though if we really know, we would be completely open with Baba, but there's a natural reserve, just which we have developed just in growing up in this country.
Yeah.
In any country.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's attachment or if it's addiction, but either way, it's I'm not ready to let go of some of these things. I know I can see them in myself, but I'm like, whoa, that's a whole mountain that's gonna have to be moved, Baba. I don't know. I don't know how you're gonna do it.
Well, I mean, sometimes self-acceptance is what he wants, self-compassion more than self-improvement. The world is about self-improvement.
That's a really good point.
And Baba is, I mean, if you took how you think you should be before you're acceptable in Baba's presence, you'll never get there. You just won't.
Yeah.
Because these are man-made, people-made ideas of perfection. Is really kind of perfectionism. You'll never get there. It's kind of when you stop trying to get there and you realize that he loves you as you are, you can relax. You could be a total failure. You could be on welfare. I'm sure you are. No, but you could be on welfare and going nowhere. But he could, no one on earth can accept you as you are. Maybe your mother might do the best at it, but Baba himself, he accepts everybody as they are, and then he encourages you to live a higher life. But it's not like he withholds his love until you live this more loving life. Yeah.
I think that's a beauty, Jeff.
What's that?
That's a beauty, what you just said. We have to like ourselves, and then we can project that onto the rest of the people we come across with. It's pretty important, I guess.
Yeah.
Just like Baba forgives you all the time. I mean, there's a story, which I read recently, not a story, something about forgiving. So there is this person who comes to Baba and says, this person is very dejected that he has all this, he or she, I don't know, has all these things that are burdening the person, and forgiveness is hard to come by according to this particular person. And Baba says, I forgive all the time. If I don't forgive, the world will stop. And that's powerful, actually. So the forgiveness is always there. So let's not even worry about it. So that's a beauty.
Yeah, I mean, I've mentioned a couple of ways that Baba's type of forgiveness. You know, I once asked Erich, you know, what was Baba's forgiveness like? And he said, you know, when you do something wrong and unkind, traditionally we make this appeal to God to forgive us, and we keep making that appeal until we feel satisfied. But with Baba, when you do something selfish and unkind, the remorse you feel for having done that is the sign that you've already been forgiven. The remorse you feel is Baba's forgiveness. That's what Erich found. But then another form of Baba's forgiveness is this. And Baba himself gives the example. What if you had a dream last night, Alan, that you murdered somebody? And you came to Baba and said, Baba, I murdered somebody in my dream. You know, will you forgive me? And Baba says, sure. Yeah, I forgive you. Well, this is a dream that we're in. It actually, I mean, it is on one level, it's not really happening. And then on another level, it is happening, and we have to kind of take it seriously. But at the same time, we also have to take it like it's not. Baba says nothing for me to forgive. You know, you murdered somebody in your dream. That's nothing for him to forgive because it was just a dream. And the same applies to this life that we call real, but which is a dream. But these are deep things. They're not just like little intellectual things that you can kind of get off the hook, so to speak. But they are worth internalizing.
Right, like you don't get off the hook for legitimately murdering somebody in this, you know, time frame, but on the eagle eye view, the deeper spiritual experience, like which we obviously are not aware of, but Baba is saying that, you know, this is in fact as passing, as whimsical as a dream that we dream in our nighttime experience.
Yeah.
But in his experience,
I mean, if you read Baba's life, there are three people that came to Baba at different times in different places who had committed murder.
Oh, wow.
And they fell at Baba's feet with real remorse, and Baba forgave them. And Bao would say, when Baba forgives somebody, those sanskars are gone. It's as if it didn't happen. And those people were never convicted.
Wow.
Baba took those impressions off of them, both the murder and the consequences of the murder. He removed those impressions because of their remorse, because of their genuine remorse. And so it's as if it didn't happen. So, you know, there were on three different occasions, and there might have been more, but at least I knew of three.
Yeah.
How incredible.
And it's like that saying that goes, I think, you know, if anybody who are not Baba lovers would hear that, or you know, I just think to myself whenever I hear these things, there's a part of myself that I understand, but then I think of what do people think who are not Baba lovers? But it's like the sense of like what Baba was saying is like you can never know the way of the masters. You know, like we do not understand what the sanskaric, karmic, the whole thing on the larger, you know, frame. We don't actually know what's going on with Baba and that person.
But their genuine remorse drew his forgiveness, his intervention.
Right.
You know, if they justified it in any way, then the remorse isn't complete.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. So, you know, when you cheat on your taxes, I mean, that's nothing compared to some of the things that Bob has done. I mean, the IRS thing is just no big deal.
It's good to
compared
know
to that.
that we can do that. Yeah.
It's a
It's
good time to know that.
And
What's
Baba
that?
It's good to know that Baba will forgive us if we do that. So that means we can just do it. Just sit on IRS.
Yeah, if you can feel remorse.
I'll tell my CPA that.
And then we just ask Baba for forgiveness, and that's it. We can do anything.
Yeah.
And tax time is coming close.
Yeah. No, like I say, the real genuine remorse has to be there. Yeah.
Okay.
I wish I could. I had my computer, and this is so weird. I feel like I'm blind or something, but I feel like I'm deaf.
Is that you use your phone?
I'm using my phone, and I can't get the volume up any higher, and I can hear you, but I have to. I have to kind of put it right up to my face. Yeah.
You're multifunctional.
What's that?
You're multifunctional.
Yeah.
Jeff.
So where's your computer then?
What's that? No, I came down here, and one part of my charger
I heard
was
you.
missing. Yeah.
Are you at the center?
I'm at the center, so I'm on an island here.
We have Jeremy Tepperman in here. Jeremy.
Oh,
you hear me?
yeah.
Hi guys.
Jeremy, come in out of the shadows.
How are you doing?
Hi.
Jeremy? You're a young person like me. How does it feel?
I've been outed. What?
Oh, there you are. Good.
How does it feel to be a young person right now?
Not great, but hanging in there. How old are you, Alan?
I'm 29. That's
Really?
That's how old Angela turned today.
Wow. I must be like 17 then.
How old are you, Jeremy?
31.
But Jeremy, do you still working?
Yeah.
Well,
I
you're fortunate there.
Yes. Definitely.
So, can I ask, are the bars open? Because I live in Chicago, and the bars in my neighborhood are starting to go crazy. Most of the 20-something, 30-somethings are not wearing masks in my neighborhood. I'm a mile from the Ruby Field. I'm just curious, what's happening in New York?
Every neighborhood is different, but from what I've seen, outdoor dining is open, and most restaurants, even that never had outdoor seating before, now are taking over the sidewalk and parking spaces and creating like impromptu outdoor seating. So people are out and about. Some people are wearing masks, others not. I don't know, but yeah, things are open for sure. Like a lot of businesses are open.
What do you do for work, Jeremy?
I'm a gardener, kind of. I run an urban farm in East New York and Brooklyn, but I'm also like a de facto social worker with no training. Not really, that's a lie. I just like, I feel like 3/4 of my job is just talking to people, and like 1/4 of my job is gardening.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sounds like Baba's taken over,
Yeah,
changing your job description.
yeah. I think I need Baba to fully take over, like for real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
no, it's been hard. What?
I think as Baba people, I once asked Erich, I once said to him, you know, if this is the Kali Yuga, the winter of the world, to be on, I said, I have to say that it's not so bad for me personally. And Erich said, the Kali Yuga doesn't pertain to his lovers. Meaning, the impression I got was we have a place we can go within and be fulfilled and safe, you might say. We can kind of come in out of the storm to a place indoors. And to that extent, we're safe. And other people who may not have that deep inner conviction and inner space to go to, they get buffeted around by the winds of the world, you might say, the storm of the world. And that doesn't mean that we shouldn't help anybody who's out there, but we have a place to go to within. And we can come back and recuperate and regenerate and then go out again and be there for others. And other people kind of may go into a state of depression. That's their inner place, or hopelessness or fear. We do have a place beyond that. I think that's what Erich meant.
Jeremy, we the other night, Jeff and I were talking about some of sort of on the thought train of how do we live our daily lives and do everything, and all these things are happening, you know, and then but at the same time have Baba be the one that's doing it. And he told this wonderful story about this. That remember, Jeff, that the pinprick thing, and
Oh, okay.
and I'm just curious for you, Jeremy. I don't know if you mind me asking you. You don't have to answer anything. You're not in the court of law. But I mean, what do you find is what do you find for you? Like, how do you relate to Baba like right now, like in your body, and you know, how do you communicate with Baba? Like, where is he to you?
I mean, are you asking because of like the state of the world with like coronavirus and protests and all that stuff, or just more generally?
No. I mean, like Meher Baba. I mean, well, let me start. Like, are you a Baba lover, follower, or
Yeah. Yeah.
or just sometimes I'll be talking to somebody, and then I realize that they're just curious about Baba, and I'm like, oh, geez.
Born and bred.
So I'm asking, like, how do you, like, every day, like your present moment, when you want to connect or find, like what Jeff was saying, find refuge in Baba? How does that look like? Do you imagine him outside of yourself? Is he hanging around you? Is he in your heart? Is he physically around your face? Is, you know, like how do you experience Baba in your life? Kind of like not as an intellectual level, but like on a really somatic kind of real right here all the time level. If you want to, you don't have to. Like I said, I'm just throwing it out there.
No, I will. Give me 1 second. I have to get my charger because my computer is gonna die. Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
Like mine.
I think I hope your phone doesn't get overheated, Jeff, because when it does, if it does, it'll freeze up, and then.
How does it? You mean it heats up?
Yeah, my phone does that where if I have the video chat on for too long, it gets real hot and then it starts to get choppy, and
Oh,
I just have to restart it if that happens.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing with these things, but
Well, you're doing great.
I mean, Alan, to answer your question,
Yeah.
I think it's changed over time. Like, I think for a long time I would find some comfort in trying to picture Baba like stand like adjacent to me or with me, or kind of visualizing like comforting, like hugging Baba or things like that. And I've found that I don't really do that much anymore these days. I don't know. I don't really like thinking of like somehow even thinking about like if Baba were like right in front of me, like in the body, that somehow it still feels like too separate for it to feel like the kind of like refuge that I seek. But I just find that like I really do say his name a lot. I don't know how, like it's the only thing that I do with any kind of consistency, and it's the only thing that I know how to do. But also talking to people about like doing this now, I think is helpful. Um, but I don't know. I mean, I'm like, it's also like I experience a lot of anxiety and like desperation, and I think that through that, it's like just I like I need to like seek Baba because of that, you know? Um, because it's like too much for me to bear on my own. And so like saying Baba's name, thinking about Baba is just the only thing that will like help kind of somewhat calm me down. So, and that also makes it hard to like when people ask, I mean, I don't know how anyone else's experience is, and it's like hard to actually talk. I find it hard because for me a lot of times like day-to-day experience is like very, very challenging, and I don't know if like other people are experiencing that or not. And it feels, even amongst Baba lovers, it feels like it can be somewhat taboo to go there as opposed to just like telling Baba stories. And I think that's one thing I enjoy about younger Baba lovers too, is that I feel like we are willing more frequently to go there, in terms of like when I've been around young Baba lovers, just to actually like dig deep into what our actual lives are like. Maybe because we don't have like stories about the Mandali or things like that to fall back on as much. But yeah. So I think that's why I'm often quieter, is because I like don't know how much to share. Um yeah. But I don't know if that's helpful. I mean, it's kind of like, I mean, Erich's brother, I feel like that's all he ever said, right? Was like you know, think of like repeat Baba's name, you know, like that for any ailment. It's a cure for all ails. Say Baba's name.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I would definitely relate to what you're saying a lot. And I haven't been around a lot of younger Baba lovers over the past few years, but when I have been, it's been really experienced a lot of well, just different ways of connecting, I guess, where like for example, we'll come together and then we say we're going to read discourses or something, and then when I get there, then people are more interested in, I don't know, talking about what's like you're saying, like more present in the world right now, and not as like, I don't know, maybe orthodox is the word, but which is like, what page are we on? We're on page, like, no, I was like, are we going to read discourses, or are we just going to talk about I get kind of like, yeah, I don't know if that's just how it is on the West Coast, but it seems to be harder for me to relate sometimes to younger babblers, the ones that I've been across, because I'm not sure like you said, it's like how deep do you want to go, and then there's all these different modalities that come in that we've been exposed to, you know, depth psychology and all the things that I'm just naming one. I mean, there's hundreds of different things that we can relate to Baba with, and helpful therapies and other kinds of things, and it can be overwhelming. And but yeah, I definitely relate with what you're saying, and I know that Thea's group, which she holds, I think weekly. I don't know if you've been to that, but I experienced quite a deep, profound connection to someone in there who was not a Bible lover, but obviously they love God. I mean, and it was just very, very profoundly deep to just have a space where people could talk about, you know, how where they really, really are at, and where they really, really are feeling that place of deep hurt or whatever, you know, what, I don't know what it is. It doesn't have to be hurt, but it's like, you know, being lost in the maze of the crowd of the festival that's happening, and losing our hold onto his hand. And yeah, I just really relate to what you're saying, so I appreciate you sharing. I didn't mean to put you on the spot or anything.
No.
I just haven't heard from you before, and but I do see you around sometimes, so I wanted to say hello and you know, just get to know you a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm more than happy to. I mean, I'm more than happy to talk. We could also talk offline if you ever like wanted to, or in another like
Yeah.
format if you ever wanted to. I just tend to hold back sometimes. I don't like Zoom very much as I'm on it. I just like
Oh,
it's
wow.
still a weird platform for me.
Yeah, you got all these 25, 30, 50 eyes looking at you at once.
Yeah. I mean, I love it in the sense that like I get to see all of you people all the time, which is wonderful, but it's still like in terms of actually participating actively, I haven't found that sweet spot yet.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe check out. I don't remember what day it is. I think it might be Tuesdays. But Thea's group is really profound. It's the feeling. I forgot what the title is. Something about feelings group or something like that. But just
Hey,
beautiful.
Alan,
Yeah.
what is this? What's that group you're talking about?
Here, look. Let me get the details here. I could pull it up real quick. I have my computer open to the calendar.
Prakash, this thing is being recorded.
No.
Why it says recording on the corner? Did you see that? It says recording.
Oh, I didn't do it, but maybe Angela put it on recording. So maybe, I mean, obviously it's not going to be public and all that stuff. But I think we should mention to Angela that we are just discussing one-on-one, and we don't want this to be out in any way.
But she always said that art is never going to be recorded. She doesn't want that. Nobody wants that.
I think I can stop it. I mean, I think I have the.
Can you stop?
Yeah.